Hey, and welcome to the vodcast for nicksmoot.com. Today, you can kind of hear them, but there's a huge group of people I'm hanging out with down at Independence Point. There's all these people. What's going on actually is there's what they're calling is a tea party, and it's a kind of a organized, it's a peaceful rally, but it's people that are angry and frustrated about the taxation in our country and they want to do something about it. There's about 2,300 of these happening around the U.S., and the thing I think that's interesting is that this is it's a great example of people getting fired up and doing something. What I want to talk about today, though, was I'll wait for them to finish. What I want to talk about, though, was the fact that in families, in the same problem we're having with the finances in our country, there's major problems that are happening in families. And I see a passion about finances, but I don't necessarily see as much of a passion about families. I would like to call out a couple things. One specifically is the passion of families to get together and do something about it. I love seeing what's going on here, but it's time for people to get passionate about the failure in families. In a book I just got done reading, there was a section that talked about 3 different things. So when there's a problem, people usually deal with it in a couple of ways. One way that they deal with it is either by responding, reacting, or initiating. The worst of all is to react, because something happens to you and then you react against it. I would say that's the example of you get punched in the face, you punch them right back. It's a horrible thing. Responding is you get punched in the face, you think for a second about what you should do, and then you act. Initiating is you avoid the relationships and the place that you were, and you initiated ahead of time so you never got punched in the face. In the same way you look at something like this, this is, I would say, a response to what's going on in our nation. How could we have initiated earlier on so we didn't end up here? In the same way with families, what are ways that we can initiate change in all reality for future generations that we don't end up in a worse place? But right now we need to respond with our families and start making change. That's where it's time for teenagers to step up and start engaging their parents. So teenagers, you see this passion. These are a bunch of old people down here. Let's see some passion from you guys in regards to your families.